So right now I have my flag in my environment, and if I play with it, right, and I can go over and I can touch it, and I kind of run into it like a wall, right? But it doesn't do anything when we do that. And we might want it to actually do stuff when we are doing it. And so to solve that, what we need to do is go back and edit it again. So we're going to come in and double click it. And again, if you show up where you're on the event graph, you might need to switch over to the viewport just to see your item be the way you want it to be. So what we want to do is add something that is going to do something when we collide with it. And to do that, we're going to go back up to the components, and we're going to click on the add button, and we're going to type in collision, C-O-L-L. And you'll see that we get a couple options. We have some geometry ones, and we have these three at the top that are box, capsule, and sphere. And you could use any which one of the ones that you want. I'm going to use capsule because it's basically going to give me a cylinder thing that I could put around it, and you could use box too, but I'm just going to use capsule. You'll see it added it to it into your blueprint, right? It's called a capsule, and we might want to make that bigger because right now it's pretty small, and it's not gonna notice us. So we're gonna go to the scaling, and you want to be able to see it. So what I'm going to do is click on our capsule and try to make it bigger. So you can see that now you can see the wire mesh around it, which is a good thing. And you could go around it. Basically, what that wire mesh is going to be is when your little guy that you walk around, Manny, that's what he's called, he's a mannequin Manny. When he walks around and he goes into this mesh, it would do something if we set it up to do that. So right now, if we can compile and save this, right, and we could go look at our third person, you'll now see the mesh around it, but we haven't told it to do anything yet, so it's not going to do anything. So we're going to go back to our flag, and we're going to add an event. And so what you're going to do is have the capsule collision thing selected, and in the details pane, you're going to scroll all the way down to the bottom. And you'll see that there is a bunch of events there. And if you remember back from the blueprints one I told you about, there's different events. That's going to be the red blueprint is going to do things. It's when something happens. And so you'll see that there's a bunch of things like on component hit. And then we have ones that are called on component overlap, or begin overlap, and one called on component end overlap. So we're going to do begin overlap, and we're going to click that, and you'll see it changed us into the event graph because this is where we're going to actually put the blueprints, and it brought up the blueprint for us. And I'm going to just close the details a little bit so that I can get this doing it. And what we're going to do right now is super simple, and this is something that I'm going to suggest you add a lot as you're learning and testing. And I'm just going to make a caveat that it's only used in debugging, and it'll tell you that too, is I'm going to click on the little arrow, right? I told you that this is the output. Everything on the right side is stuff that's going out from it. And so we're going to click on the outside, and we're going to drag it out, and a line comes out, and it brings up a window that gives us all these options of things we can do. There are a ton of options. There's no way, I don't know, I know a very small percentage of these. But the one I do know is print, P-R-I-N-T. Oh, if I actually was in the window. And with print, you'll see it says development. There's two. There's development, print string, and print text. So I'm just going to print string, and it's going to say hello, and you'll see that there's a little arrow that will open up more things. And it's going to print it to screen. It's going to print it to the log. It's going to be a different color. And it's only going to last 2 seconds. Well, 2 seconds is not enough for me to see things, so I'm going to change it to 5 seconds. And instead of saying hello world, I'm going to say collided. If I can spell. But right? That means I hit the flag. And it's just something that we can see, and we're going to hit compile, and we're going to save it. And now when we go and play, I'm going to go find my flag. There's the flag. And when I go close to it, you'll see that there's a bunch of collided on the sides, right? You'll see the collided, the words. And it only lasts for 5 seconds and then they disappear. So that is how we could add a collision to our object and it'll do things. And so we'll work on getting more things that we can do with this collision. And it was our first use of a blueprint with code. So I will see you in the next video.